And now sports with Chris Duerr from the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Sports Desk.
And tip-top evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final. It is week number 8, and we have some massive games on the board tonight, none more so than the battle of the number 2 and number 3 teams in the state of Missouri in Class 2 football, which this guy got to watch tonight.
I did. Certainly a Thanksgiving weekend level matchup in Bowling Green tonight. Let's get right to Bowling Green, who got punched in the mouth very early on in this one. Valley Catholic scored on its first 2 offensive plays. So Bobcats down 14-0 until Jace Eskew is there to first force the fumble, and then on top of that, get on the football. If Eskew eventually came out of that pile with the ball, so Bowling Green, they take over looking to get on the board. And Eskew, he makes sure they do just that. Nice moves here by the Bobcats quarterback. A 9-yard rushing touchdown by Eskew. We've got a 14-6 ball game. Now back on defense for the Bobcats. A sack coming up right here from Bowling Green's Parker Jones, but Valley Catholic would score again after that to make it 21-6. Then Dane Dunn next play just misses the strip sack. Instead, it's incomplete, but they don't get the turnover on the big hit by Dunn. It was that kind of night for Bowling Green. They fall in this one 42-20, and that snaps a 35-game regular season win streak for Bowling Green. Now let's go to Van Far. Lucky number 7 would be a tough one to get for Van Far tonight as they look for this win. Indians play the 6-1 North Callaway. T-Birds jump out to an early 6-0 lead, but then at the end of the first, Reese Colwell hits Gavin Gaston to get Van Far going. 3 plays later, he finds Gaston, putting Van Far on top 8-6. Next possession, T-Birds sophomore Colton O'Neill drops a rope to junior Tristan Petty in the end zone. That makes it 14-6 North Callaway. Van Far then rumbles right on back. A 30-plus yard run by the jailbreak senior Tyson Douglas. Nice running there down the sideline, but North Callaway junior Wyatt Hayden would break off his own run. This one putting the Birds back on top 20-16, and it wouldn't get that much better for Van Far. This one would go on to be a North Callaway win. They take this one 42-22 would be your final score.
Nice win tonight for the Hannibal Pirates on the road at Marshall. 57-14 is the final there in favor of the Pirates. How about South Shelby in bounce-back mode after that loss to Centralia last week? Taking on making it. Hugh Dunfield in this one, trying to get something established early. Preston Elson getting through the traffic right there, taken down. But you know what? You got a little making defense working in this one. It's Skylar Anderson in the backfield. Huge pop for him. The defensive exchange would continue, however, this time to the advantage of the Cardinals. Caden Poole, the outstanding senior, going to come up with the loose ball here, and that's going to set up Gabe Bowen doing Gabe Bowen-type things. He's going to javelin his way in for the score. All South Shelby tonight as they get a measure of revenge, or at least get their mojo back. 42-21 is your final. Elsewhere in the Canada tonight, it was Monroe City jumping all over Highland. Centralia continues their hot play of late, taking down Palmyra. It was Clark County coming back, but falling just short of completing the comeback against Westran. Also tonight, it was Crystal City beating Paris. We've got Schuyler County knocking off North Shelby in a thriller, and break up Knox County. That's 2 in a row for the Eagles as they get the big-time win there. One softball score to pass along. Bowling Green having a tough night all over as the Bobcats softball season comes to an end in the district semifinals with a loss to Lutheran St. Charles. All right, on to the scoreboard now. We will take you to this. Actually, let's take you to Quincy Notre Dame, taking on Lincoln tonight in the Central State 8. Homecoming at 10th and Jackson, and man, was Quincy Notre Dame amped for this one. Wyatt Mueller on the throw. Talon Scott with the pickup into the red zone. Inside the 20 at that point, that would set up a Wyatt Mueller 1-yard punch in this one. Q&D on the board first, and then the defense stepping up big for the Raiders. How about Nolan Earhart? It's a bunch of guys in on the sack, but Nolan is at the heart of the attack right here, and Lincoln's backfield was invaded and destroyed for most of this night. And then check out the fun coming right here on the ensuing punt. It is Wyatt Mueller. He is so good at this. How about 2 touchdowns for Mr. Mueller right in a row in this one? Wyatt about to take off, and I think you'll see this one again on Sensational 7 as he's off to the house, and nobody's going to catch that man. He's just too darn good in this one. Great punt return for him. Then it's the Ivan Hoon show. Big last week, big again for the powerhouse back as he just started taking chunks out of Lincoln. Quincy Notre Dame wins going away in this one. The Raiders victorious, and with the big-time victory tonight, 54-12 is your final. Quincy High highlights came in a little bit late, a little too late for us to get them to you tonight. Huge win for the Blue Devils, but we have some spectacular highlights to show you coming up tomorrow on Overtime when we can force those into the show. Speaking of Quincy High School, let's do a little state golf quickly. Ty Novosel at the 3A state meet, and man, was he good today. At the Den on the first 9. He's 2 under here, an excellent chip. Gives him a chance to get to 3 under and take the outright lead in this one. He would settle for par after that chip. And then on the very next hole, a clutch save at 17. Went out in 34. The problem for Ty, he came back in at 43. He fired a 77 overall. He's currently tied for 31st place individually. How about the Q&D and Illini West teams today at the 1A meet across town over at Prairie Vista? Bo Eftink doing Bo Eftink type things. Had the really good chip shot working here at number 5. And yes, he got a chance right here to save par and would do exactly that. He's currently individually in 5th place with a 74. Oliver Hendrian had a blazing hot start to this day. Ended up with an eagle on number 2. Nearly flew in the eagle here at number 4. He's currently 46 with an 82. Wesley Robertson here trying to drop the birdie. He would do exactly that. But first, how about some Nick Bruns right there on number 9. Beautiful stuff from him. Both Illini West and Q&D are alive and kicking tomorrow. They made the top 8, but neither of them, well, both of them will need a huge day tomorrow to get back into things. As we look at the scores from today, here's where it stands. Team-wise, Quincy Notre Dame currently in 7th. And a couple of strokes back is 6th, and Illini West is currently in 7th. Reed Freitag with a great day. He's in the top 10 with a chance to compete as well. The news not very good on the girls' side today. Quincy Notre Dame is eliminated from the team competition. Belle Boudreau still alive and kicking with an 82 on the day. Some soccer to pass along to you quickly as well. Quincy Notre Dame alive and kicking after the first round of regionals with a win over Illini Bluffs. Sully Walker with 2 goals in that one. Let's go to Illinois now, and we'll have some fun there tonight with some big games happening for Rushville Industry.
Yeah, a couple of quick touchdowns here against the undefeated Princeville. First, we'll start with Sebastian Berteau coming up on the touchdown run. You'll see here in just a second in front of what was actually a packed house, and there is Berteau powering his way in. First, he had to get through the line of scrimmage and then off to the races from there. Scores that touchdown first, and then they kept it on the ground. Rushville Industry did. Next up, it's going to be Rylan Reimolds. He's going to take this one to the house. Here it is coming from the other direction this time, and it's right up the gut. Eventually gets his way through, scores the touchdown. That's going to be all we'll get to, though, from Rushville Industry. And now we'll go to Macomb.
Let's check in with the Macomb Bombers right here, if we can, taking on Bureau Valley, trying to get themselves playoff eligible in this one. And what a way to flip into the action right here. And what a first series for the Bombers in this one. It's Braden Holthouse calling his own number right here, and 46 yards later, ain't nobody catching Braden Holthouse. Off to the races. What a nice block. What a great hole to open up for that young man. Again, it's 7-0, and the Bombers would waste little time extending that lead. This time, it's Drake Mays, not just for big tackles anymore. The outstanding sophomore linebacker finding a little seam, and 27 yards later, he's into the house for the lead at 14-0. Atsard Aplogian has been playing as well as anybody defensively in the area. You see it right here as Bureau Valley's powerful defensive backfield is taken down in the backfield. Good stuff from Atsard. How about a perfect 2-minute drill working right here as Braden Holthouse is going to hook up with Drew Watson. They started that series with 1:55 on the clock. They finish it with 11 seconds and then score twice. Huge win for Macomb. They're off to the playoffs with win number 5. They get the job done tonight. 41-7 is your final. Illini West also trying to get itself playoff eligible. That's win number 6, by the way, for Macomb.
Yeah, some fun stuff tonight for Illini West. We'll start with them on offense, and it's the long run coming from Isaiah Knotts. You see him make his way down the sideline, and a touchdown pass would follow, coming the other direction. Nope, you see the camera faked out, but it's Max Kinneman who throws the touchdown pass, and that's for Illini West. Then they'll keep the football on the 2-point conversion coming up here. It's Carter Bulger who navigates his way into the end zone. That makes it 16-6 Illini West. Then going on defense, the other side, it's Jaden Cambridges who forces the fumble. West Hancock able to get back on it, but the big loss there. Now we'll see on the next play coming up, a pass for a big first down, and that's Tucker Coltenberg. Beautiful pass there along the sideline and then go into the ground to get it, and that's going to be huge for West Hancock because they would then go on to score. It's Noah Capito who gets in to make it a one-score game. Illini West hanging on just 16-12 at this point. Back on offense, Drew Cook. How about him rumbling up the field, rumbling and stumbling for an Illini West first down to get them in striking distance, and that would lead to this. Nick Leone on the receiving end of this beautiful touchdown pass, just seconds to go in the half. That puts Illini West up 24-12. They would go on to get their 5th win and become playoff eligible.
Beautiful stuff in that conference for 3 local teams tonight as Rushville Industry pulls off the upset over undefeated Princeville. As you saw, Macomb destroys Bureau Valley. And how about Illini West getting the job done tonight? Proud of all those teams. Good to have them in the playoff mix. Elsewhere tonight in the WIVC, kind of a wild game tonight at Camp Point, but Central ultimately pulls off the victory. 41-28 is your final. Brown County was up on Calhoun 16-15 in the 3rd quarter, and unfortunately things would go awry from that point forward as Calhoun gets the win 31-16. Brown County will try to get playoff eligible next week. A wild game tonight down at Pleasant Hill as Pleasant Hill hangs on to beat Unity Payson. Unity Payson was down big, came back huge in this game, but could not pull off the upset win or the comeback win. 42-34 is your final. West Central's going to the playoffs. They get the win over Triopia. 41-8 was your final there. North Green on the board with a win tonight. Good for North Green as they beat Beardstown. The Spartans win that game 32-18. Huge night for Lane Foster and Pittsfield. They're not going to the postseason, but they get a big win over Auburn tonight. 42-21 is your final. And it was Jacksonville beating up on Decatur MacArthur tonight. Huge win for the Crimsons as well as they kind of bounce back from that loss to Quincy Notre Dame. Southeast Iowa, the news not good, at least that we've gotten yet. Keokuk ran into a buzzsaw tonight in the form of Davenport Assumption. 35-7 was your final there. Still looking for a Central Lee score. Central Lee needed a win and some help tonight, but was playoff eligible if they could get that job done. So we'll try to find that Mediapolis score for you a little bit later. Mount Pleasant, a winner tonight over Fort Madison in a game that was 7-all at the half. Fort Madison still winless, unfortunately, at this particular point, but you know what? The Bloodhounds are going to keep digging, I guess. You just keep trying to do what you can do at this particular point. We have got a massive and monster overtime coming your way tomorrow. We've got district playoff softball in a number of venues. We've got football tomorrow, high school and college. Quincy University Truman State is huge right here. You get to go see some softball. I
can't wait. Highland softball. Get to check out Haley Winter. She's been on a home run tear. Maybe that keeps up. So that's fun stuff for me.
Also, we've got state golf. We're still tracking. We got a ton of goodies for you. Join us at 10:30 tomorrow. We'll give you the world, and we'll see you then.